welcome back to dubventures and to another fantastic video. So today, a lot of people have been asking us about how we plan our trips, so that is what I'm going to tell you, because this is how I organise a trip so we can see beautiful things like that.
Hey everyone, if you are new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Right, let's do this. So, over the years we've done a lot of travel, haven't we, in a camper van?
Yeah, they all vary, don't they?
Yeah, because we've been into van life now for 4 years.
How long it's been?
4 years already. And we still have that excitement and buzz about it. Now the thing is, we've done like road trips from like a 1 night overstay at like a campsite or well camping to a 3-week like road trip that obviously requires some element of planning.
So in today's video we're going to tell you how we plan a trip, and maybe you can use some of the hints and tips that we share to plan your own trips.
The good thing about van life is you can, at any moment in time when you've got time, you can actually just up and go, but you do need some element of planning, especially if it's going to be like a long road trip. If it's an overnight stay and it's just one campsite, if you know the area you're going to, you just look in the area, don't you, to do 1 night overstay.
Sometimes, like we've done a holiday in Scotland, haven't we, and it was not planned whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, we had a really good holiday, but we missed out on a lot of things because we didn't research the area.
We were just travelling from place to place. So we have been asked when we actually plan our trips how we go about it. Now recently in a lot of videos we've been doing a lot of well camping. Now when we do the well camping, like I said, a lot of you guys have been asking, do you use like these apps that are available to actually like go find these like spots that we go to, and how do we actually find the spots?
No, we don't.
We don't use the apps, do we? We've actually tried to use the apps, but
the problem with the app is everybody has access to the app. So the places that are on the apps that people have found and show to everyone else, they get overpopulated, don't they? So when you want to plan to go to there and there's some stunning places on there, the problem is that when you get there, there's generally already somebody staying there because everybody knows about it, which is why we don't use the app. Yeah,
so from that, you know, we've been asked, well, how do we find these well camping spots? Because we have found some amazing well camping spots, haven't we? And the only example that we can give is when we've been to Scotland, the amount of times that we have,
there's just tons of them.
There's so many of them. We don't go to Scotland and have in mind like particular well camping spots. We just like have areas that we're going to and we find them.
Yeah, you just literally keep going until you find the spot that you like and you want to stay in, because in Scotland there is loads, absolutely loads of places.
Now before we actually get into the actual planning of the trips that we do, one thing that I will say with van life is you have to be flexible and have some element of like problem solving skills, because there is going to be times where if you are going on a long trip and you're well camping, you might get somewhere, the well camping spot might not be available if it is like somewhere that you know where you're going, and also you could be travelling places and you might not actually find anywhere. So you need to know, well, in that situation, what would you do? You need to have like a little bit of a plan what you would do.
So if you're going away just for a weekend and you want to stay at a campsite, it's a case of researching the area you want to go to for a campsite, read the reviews like we do on campsites, and then book your campsite. And then obviously it's good to research the actual area that you're going to for points of interest. And one of the things I will say, when we've been to campsites and stuff before, they have like little things that pick all stuff like this up. So we get all things like this because it'll give us ideas for future trips, and we keep all of these so that we can have ideas of places to visit next time.
How do we actually book the campsites? Because
sometimes I'll book through PitchUp. PitchUp I think is quite a good site to book from.
We use that a lot.
And we use that quite a lot. We also book through Camping and Caravan Club. Sometimes we like I said, we pick things up from campsites that we've stayed at that have many others, and we find other campsites through them. So we book through that. And one of the other things is just a Google search. I mean, through Google search and you search in that area, you can find some really unusual, like small campsites.
I know it sounds like really like simple and like, oh well, yeah, Google search, you know, that's obvious.
For example, when we went to Scotland and we stayed up near John O'Groats, we found a really nice little campsite there, didn't we?
Yeah, Ferry View.
Ferry View campsite. We really liked that campsite.
But we never found it on any like websites or anything, but we googled the area and it came up, didn't it? When we actually stay at a campsite, we normally stay at the campsite for a reason. Now, people's reasons for staying at campsites are always different. A lot of people go to a campsite just to park up, sit down, relax and not leave like where they are. But we stay at campsites, we use it as like a tool if you like, because it might be somewhere that we're travelling to that means we can stay at that campsite that allows us to explore the area that we've actually travelled to. We've never really randomly just said, let's just go to a campsite and just stay overnight and then come home the morning after.
Yeah. So we told you how we find campsites, etc. So, but when we went to Scotland, the last trip we did was mainly wild camping, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went to Scotland for 3 weeks, and this is what we're going to do now. We're going to actually tell you how do we actually plan our trips, because 3 weeks away in a camper van, that might like be really daunting for a lot of people, like such a like small space and everything, but we loved it.
Absolutely loved it. So my best friend when it comes to planning trips is Google Maps. And the reason why I use Google Maps is because I can tell how long I want to drive for. So if I'm starting from where I live, I want to know the very first place I want to visit and how long it will take me to get to that place. Then I research each area, and that's what I do all the way around for the amount of days. And in your head you need to have an idea of where you want to start, where you want to end, because that will help you create the rest of the trip.
If we don't just go to Scotland and randomly, day by day, pick different places. So if we go for 3 weeks, which we have done in the past, we worked it out where we wanted the trip to start straight away. So we did the longest bit of driving on the first day to get like quite far north in Scotland.
The thing is, when we was driving and we did the NC 500, we did a bit of a different modified route, which is what we said in all of our videos, because the NC 500 starts quite far up, whereas
we started further down and more to the west coast.
We started in Loch Lomond. Right, so here is where you need your pens and papers, because this is where I'm going to give you my biggest tips. Ooh. So, number 1, decide the first and last place that you want to visit. How long you are going for, and how many hours a day you want to drive. So those are the biggest 4 things you need to start planning your trip, because that's what I do. Once you have got all of that in place, you will then be able to pick points in the middle. So when I travelled for 10 days, I had my first and last, and then I said I wanted to drive a maximum of 4 hours each day.
A 4-hour drive doesn't mean that in 4 hours you're going to get from one destination to the other. You allow yourself maybe like twice that amount of time, because all the pulling points and different places you want to visit, because that's the whole point of a road trip. It's not just travel from destination to destination. It's about the in between.
The journey. It's about the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
So with what Tom just said, then that's the beauty of like wild camping as well, because you're not like.
Yeah, if you're wild camping, see, we've had it before, and I know it's not like this, but we've had it before where if you stay at a campsite and you arrive quite late, you kind of feel like rushed a little bit, and you don't want to arrive at a campsite like really late, because you might feel like you're disturbing people and things like that.
And then you have to be out quite early in the morning.
Yeah, but when you're wild camping, so we've got like our time where we go exploring, and it doesn't matter like how long it takes to get to your destination.
Say you're staying at Loch Lomond and then you're going to Loch Ness, it might be that just next door to Loch Ness on the map is the most outstanding, beautiful place that you've never even heard of, but you've heard of Loch Ness, which means that it's only a little bit out of the way. You might want to drive to that first, which is why I use Google Maps. Once I've found the name of the main place, I check the little areas out around it, and then I research each one of those. So, you might notice that there's a lot of things on my desk, so I just thought I'd tell you where I got some of these from. So this, we got off a subscriber in Scotland, which was when we was doing our trip, and it was out of a local newspaper. But this helped me out loads when I was planning trips, as you could tell with my planning on here. That helped a lot, and we actually found some wild camping spots around here as well.
We can't sort of like say enough. Like paper maps, I know like that's like old school for a lot of people, but paper maps come in so handy, don't they? It makes it like a lot easier sometimes, because sometimes you don't have reception in certain places. And having a paper map, it makes things like a lot better. You can actually see, like look at it,
and you can write on it and make notes. These we've picked up from when we've been visiting places or other campsites. Map groups. These two are coming to our channel soon.
Now this one, as you know, we've been to Northumberland a couple of times. We are going to be doing an exciting route. That's coming
so you're
very,
see
very
this
soon.
map quite a lot.
Very soon.
So as you all are aware, we've said a few times, we want to start going abroad and travelling. So these are a very good best friend of yours for when you go on holiday abroad. So we got these to help me plan, because there is lots of ideas in here for planning trips abroad. So you might not have heard of this before. It's the ACSI, which is a discount card that you get for campsites abroad, and you literally pick the destination, so like Italy, Spain, Portugal, and they tell you every single campsite that is available. It also has it for England. So another one of our subscribers gave us this to help us, and we're looking at joining it, but we've never actually stayed in any. Is it worth it? If you've already become a member of it, just let me know in the comments below. Is it worth me getting this? No, he's a little cutie. So, one other tip that I can give you is when you are researching where you want to go, also take note of where the local shops are, supermarkets, public toilets, showers. Because sometimes when you're wild camping, you don't necessarily have to go and stay in a campsite to have a shower, because a lot of campsites will let you pay a little bit of money to use the facilities for a shower, and there's other like actual public buildings that have showers in that you can pay a couple of pounds and have a shower in as well.
One thing that I will say as well, because we've actually done this, you can sometimes actually over plan a road trip, can't you?
Especially if you plan it to specific times, because then you might drive past something and think, oh wow, I didn't even know that was there, I really want to see it. But then you're sat at a schedule of time and you're like, I can't, I'm going to have to carry on.
Yeah, you can sometimes over plan, and I keep saying it, just like go with it, do you know what I mean? Like, know where you're going and just go with it and enjoy like what you're doing, and don't like try and think, oh, I've got to be at this time, I've got to be there at that time, because it makes things a lot, because we've done it where we've over-planned trips, and it's like we need to be here at this time, and then we're not, and then it just becomes stressful, and that's not what van life's about, guys.
So another tip I can give you is this. So I bought this, and I think it's brilliant. This has helped me plan some amazing trips. It shows me different beaches, fantastic beaches, mountains, long distance routes, islands, and the top 50 places to visit. And it's big.
Road trip.
What was that? So obviously you can write on this, but I didn't want to write on this, so it's all in pads, because a pad and pen is also your best friend. This just helps you with information on inspirational driving routes, places to visit, what you are interested in and the best places to go, different types of activities, the top 50 nearest bits of great British outdoors is down at the bottom. And then there's also this, and it tells you all the different places. It also has the Scottish Islands on it. It tells you Orkney Islands, Shetlands, everything. The best beaches to go to, long distance driving routes. So this was also a good one because it does show you lots of different driving routes that you can do. I love this map.
Do you know what? We can't recommend this enough. We really genuinely have used this so much, and it is one of the best things that we've got for like the route planning and everything that Brooke does, because as you know, Brooke does a lot of the route planning and that. Do you know what? I do highly recommend these. I'm going to put in the first link in the description a link where you can get one of these. I keep saying it, and I recommend that you get one. Just really, really handy.
Get sent this. I bought this myself.
We really do recommend this. It will come in so handy for you for your journey. Hope them tips have been really handy and useful for you. Like I say, we do get asked all the time. You get asked all the time on Facebook, don't you? Now we answer a lot of these questions on Facebook, so if you join our Facebook group, Dubventures, and while you're there, join our Instagram page, Dubventures.
If any of you guys have any tips for any other people about planning a road trip, just pop them in the comments below, because
and the thing is, if you've got any tips,
to help us.
yeah, if you've got any tips for us, because we don't know everything, we can only tell you like the experiences, you know, the things that we've done, the places that we go and how we plan our trips. But if you guys have got any recommendations like for planning things, or if you know of any like different maps and things that we can use.
On that note as well, if you know any amazing places that you know we would love, because we love seeing things like this, then just put them in the comments below, because that is another thing, groups and talking to people, because someone's always been somewhere that you haven't.
Exactly. Now you've heard this saying before, but for us, it's a real saying. The destination is about the journey. It's not about the destination. We have found that so many times.
Yes.
Honestly, the travel that you do to get there, that's what's important. So if you haven't subscribed already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Press the like button, hit the notification bell when you press the subscribe button. It's free, you'll get notified every time we do videos like this.
And it'll really help out our channel.
It will really help the channel out, we really appreciate it. We can't thank you all enough. We've got some amazing travel coming soon, I can't wait. We're so excited, aren't we? So,
really excited.
Yes, so until the next one guys, bye for now.